In this video, I discuss how you decide which method to use. And actually, I disagree with what Mertler says in the Action Research book, that he says it's important to decide whether you intend to use qualitative or quantitative research methods before you actually frame your research questions. I disagree with that because in my mind, your research question or your research statement should inform the methods. All right. I'm going off the assumption that you're trying to solve either a curiosity, you're trying to solve a problem that you have, right? You're trying to do something that's driven by a question and need. And based on that need, you want to use a tool, a strategy that fits that need. Okay. Now, this is a really what we would call a post-positive approach to research methods. That means that and it's a really practical approach, right? It means that, hey, I'm not really coming from a theoretical framework where I say, hey, I'm a qualitative research or a quantitative research and I have this whole worldview, but it's a more pragmatic approach. A pragmatic approach that says, hey, there are different approaches and frameworks to view research methods. And I am using I'll try to leverage this rainbow of different approaches and tools, and I use the tools that fit my needs the best, right? So let me give you an example, right? For example here, use this approach if you believe that there are multiple realities constructed by different individuals. So then you should use qualitative. Or if you say there's a single reality that can be objectively measured, then you should believe that it's quantitative, right? So it's kind of this approach like, okay, what is your paradigm? How you view the world? And if you fall into one or this, either this or that bucket, then that's the method that you use, right? So, all right, you know what? I happen to really believe and agree with this, that there are multiple realities constructed by different individuals. I agree with this. But personally, I also believe that there are realities that can objectively be measured. Right? So I don't think it's an either or, but an and, right? And it depends what we're talking about. Right? Let's take a controversial topic, climate change. Okay? If you look at this purely from a research perspective, right? Is there a singularity that can be objectively measured? Well, if you believe that we can measure temperatures around the globe and see if those are trending up or down, well, you'd say there is a single reality that can be measured, right? At the same time, are there multiple realities constructed by different individuals about climate change and things that are happening like that? Could also be true, right? The different perceptions of what's going on. And that's where what I feel sometimes qualitative methods can hit a bit of a cliff when you say, all right, you know what, we need to either there is such a thing as climate change or not, right? And if we agree that this is happening, what actions do we conclude from that, right? But if we take an approach that, well, multiple realities exist, it's like, okay, well, guess what? Either the climate is changing or it's not changing in a way, right? But long story short, I'm just picking this topic to kind of drive a point home. Then, okay, use this approach if your potential audience is familiar with qualitative studies, use qualitative, familiar with quantitative, use quantitative. I mean, look, I think yes, if your potential audience is more used to certain methods, that's a plus. But at the same time, why, what does that mean, right? Let's say you want to do a qualitative study, but your audience is mostly familiar with quantitative studies. Well, yeah, you're gonna have a little bit harder time to present your results, etc. But at the same time, if you do have a qualitative research theme and topic, then that's what you got, right? You can't just try to answer this question with a quantitative methods just because of which audience you're working with. Now that one, this is more what I would say. You know, your research question is broad, holistic, interpretive. Yes, right now we're starting from your question, right? But if it's a specific, confirmatory, predictive question, right, then quantitative methods lend themselves more. Also, if your body of literature is limited, well, okay, that's true, right? If it's limited, qualitative methods are broader, right? They're more open, so it's more open to discover and do some foundational research. Then quantitative, when there is a relatively large body of literature, yeah, maybe and maybe not. Right. Also, if the topic is, you know, if it is involved in-depth study or breadth, that too, yes. Typically, right, qualitative studies are easier to go deeper, while quantitative studies allow you to go broader in the sense that you can more easily survey 100 people, 1,000 people versus interviewing 100 people or interviewing 1,000 people or observing them, right? So that's the pluses and minuses. Yes, and then, you know, having the skills, okay, that's also true. If you know, if you say, all right, you know, I'm good at this, let's say you're not so strong in deductive reasoning and statistics, you know, then, well, yeah, maybe you're going to tend to qualitative methods, but at the same time, I encourage all of you to not shy away from statistics because, you know, that might be also something that you have to put a little bit of time and effort in to learn it, right? So long story short, then the writing skills, same thing. Technical scientific writing is something that we also have to learn and practice, right? Same as what we have to do with literary and narrative writing. And that might be something that comes to you a little bit easier from other types of writing that you've learned. But at the end, it's to me, it's all a matter of practice, right? So we'll go a little broader, but this is now a little bit of a you know, discussion video here about which methods to use to do your studies.